Hello, do you like to play Farming Simulator 25 on some big fields? And you'd like to design your own farm? This might be the map for you. It's called Courtright Line, and it's a Canadian inspired map modeled after Ontario, Canada. Let me just show you on the menu. There's 68 fields on this thing. Nice big map. And the fields are big, which makes it a challenge when you start from nothing. Because on this map, you start right here, and the reason is you own no land, no equipment, not even a house to lay your head. You absolutely have nothing. There you go. You have absolutely nothing. So you might want to do some contracts. I'm going to show you what I did here in a minute. Uh, Let me just show you some other things on the map. There's 68 fields. It is a start from scratch type scenario. But there's multiple farm-ready plots. They don't have houses on them, but you can put one on there. So that's a challenge. So look at this. Now this field right here is 250 acres for $4 million. That's about 16,000 an acre. But it's a very big field. So when you see that, you know, some of these that even look small are big. Okay, this one's 20 acres. Okay, and it's going to be, well, that includes that over there. Never mind. Okay, this one's 28 acres. Okay, for 461,000. What I did is I purchased this field for 123, about 124,000, because it includes this little bit of land right here that you could put a house and some other things. At least you got a place to lay your head. It kind of gets you started. You have $100,000. You, like I said, you own nothing, absolutely nothing. Let's take a look up. Okay, here's a shop where we were right there. Your stuff's going to show up there. You work on it in the back. There's a grain mill right here. There's a gas station just north of us. Here's the field I was talking about. Right there, I like it too because it's convenient to the shop, because when you start out, you know, you're running back and forth. And I also purchased some land over here, and I'm going to show you that in a minute, what I've done with it after a few seasons on this map. So there's another one there, a couple of more. It's a beautiful map. The fields are large, flat, great for putting buildings, you know, storage buildings, production facilities. It's very, very big. Very, very big. Now it is a 4x map. It's Courtright Line, and it's a 4x map, so you have to have a PC to run it. It's not going to be on console. So if you play console, that's a drawback. I play on PC and Xbox X, so it did not show up on my Xbox X. And your 4x maps are not. They just, the consoles just can't handle the memory. But it's a pretty map. You can see a lot of fields there, a lot of potential of things to do. Okay, looking at the map again. Over here you have a sawmill. So you have a carpentry, a oil mill, and a sawmill as far as production chains go. You don't own anything. Okay, your sawmill's over there. Not too many small fields, so starting out on a survival type, somewhat of a challenge. You do have a train in here. Goldcrest Valley train runs along here. There's a couple of rental places for the train. Right in here you got a Grain West silo, grain mill, Courtright grain mill, a lime station, the carpentry, a warehouse if you want to do constructibles or just buy something. Over here, one of your main points of sale is a farmer's market, and then you got a small livestock dealer over there. And it doesn't show your shop on the map per se. There's a couple of glitches on there. The shop is right here, and then you have the oil mill right above it, just north of there, and then your gas station. And there's another gas station over here in this corner. And that's pretty much it. So there's a lot of room for growth. potential you to build some stuff. Like I say, I started here, and I'll show you that in just a second. And this field over here I purchased, that was 188, and this one was 117. So as you get some money, you can borrow 500,000, that'll give you 600. But like I say, you own nothing, not even a house. So I put a little cheap house on there, bought some cheap equipment, used some retro stuff to get me rolling. And I did contracts. Now, the contracts, you got to be careful because the fields are so big. Look at this. This is 78 acres. So be sure that's what you want to do, because to bale 78 acres takes a long time. So I did the smaller ones like this. That's still 36 acres, okay, of fertilizing, or 13 acres of harvesting. I did get a bonus when I harvested, okay. There's a 6-acre one. That's pretty easy there. But most of your contracts are huge because the fields are big. So just be careful you're not overdoing that. Okay, there's a little one there for 7. So as you get some money, you got to buy some stuff, and you figure out what you want to do. All right, let me show you what I did on this map as far as my farm goes. All right, let me show you the little farm I got set up. We're at the shop. If you look at the menu here, you're going to go down here and over here. So we're just going to kind of fly over there. Okay, so we're at the shop. There's the gas station to the north of us. So if you're leaving the shop, you just come down here, hang a right, and then you're going to hang a left. And this field right here is our first one that we purchased. I think it was 123,000 on the map. So that's this one. Okay, 123. And then we purchased this one for 188, put some more stuff, and then we purchased this one for 117. So I got canola in this. I've added a sheep pen. You can see the small $20,000 silo. And this house is only 10 grand. Let's hop down there for a second. Okay, there's our silo, sheep pen. Let me show you this house on the menu. If you go to, it's a mod. Once you load it from the mod hub, it's farmhouse, small farmhouse mod. It's $10,000. That's one reason I got it. It is real cheap, and yet it's a real little house. Look at this, and you can go inside. Yes, it needs painting. Maybe I'll paint it. But look at this. You got a place for to change clothes. You got a little potbelly stove heater. You got a bathroom. This is really cool. You got a small table, stove. You got everything you need to survive. It has lights. And you can come here and sleep till tomorrow. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So that's a neat little gizmo there, this house, for 10 grand. It's a mod, like I say. Let's hop over to the other farm. Okay, we're back up in the air. You can see my field here. By the way, this field, it's right at 7 acres of land. So it's a beginning field, but still 7 acres is not bad, okay? Now we're going this way. You got some open land here you could purchase and do whatever you want, productions, cut some fields in there with a plow, whatever. That's out of my budget at the moment. But I did purchase these 2 fields. I bought this one first because I put a chicken pen here, and then I put another silo for $20,000. So when I harvest this sorghum, I can just feed it to my chickens. And I'll probably plant barley here eventually, but I don't have a forage wagon to pick up the straw. So right now I'm doing sorghum, things I can just do with what I got. Let's hop down here real quick. Now I started with this planter, and the reason I did, okay, if you go to the menu under planters, you need 180 horsepower for this. I bought the little Challenger tractor, upgraded to 180 or 200, and I could use this. And I like it as a planter because it also plants canola. So I can plant canola with this. I could plant sorghum, and I could do sunflowers, corn, you know, whatever you want to do that planters do, but plus canola. So this is our sunflowers. I planted sunflowers in there. I got 5.7 acres there of actual field. And I like this. You have some land between. I could even put a greenhouse in there. I have enough space now between these fields. And this one is 6.15 acres of sorghum. So once I put barley in there, I could actually support 2 chicken houses. So that's something I may do once I get a little money ahead. So I have borrowed to the capacity of 500,000. I have 261,000. I don't go to the next day with that up there because I don't pay interest on it. But I just wanted you to see how much money we had based on this farm. I got about 20 hours into this farm. I'm on year 4. I did some contracts. I tried to not do a whole lot. I did some of the smaller ones when I need enough money, like to buy my harvester. And I do have the small harvester. So I have the little Challenger here. I got the little small John Deere there, the 160 horsepower. And a trailer that's a mod, holds 15 cubic meters. And I got the basic Massey Ferguson harvester there because it's cheap to get started on. Now I did buy this little tractor here. It's over at my chicken pen, so I don't have to run back and forth. You can get this with the weight for like $6,100, International 423. It's a mod, great little tractor for the money, and it will pull my 8 cubic meter trailer that I use to feed my chickens with. So that was a good purchase. You know, for very little money, I got another tractor and a trailer over there, so I don't have to run back and forth because it's further than it looks between these 2 little areas of my farm. But that's pretty much it. If you like what you saw here, share this with your farming buddies. I'm Farmer Teacher, and I'll see you on the next go round. Bye bye.